to pass along a way of life and the legacy of his people. He is a Kiowa Indian, and this evening we'll see how he's preserving his heritage. Just south of Oklahoma City, amidst the drilling rigs on fields punctuated with red clay plateaus, is the farming community of Anadarko. Here, for the past 52 years, branches of a very large family have gathered for a special type of reunion. This is the American Indian Exposition, or the Indian Fair, as it is called by hundreds of members of local Plains tribes, the Kiowa, Apache, and Caddo, and by their brothers in spirit from tribes across the country, Comanche, Navajo, and more. It is a time to make camp, to be with family and old friends, to dance and talk and remember the old ways. Like their ancestors, some are willing to travel many miles for such gatherings. Eber Hampton came from Boston.
Indians are all over the country, but it's nice to come here, you know, because a lot of us in one place. It's nice. I come down here every summer, though, to visit and to do something that is more in keeping with Indian and natural things, and to live or to participate in something that feels more like a community, I guess.
There is here a sense of community, of family and tradition that is the heart of the Indian, the heart of Dixon Palmer.
And the Indian relation is close. You know, it's a lot different than, you know, the white man relation. Some of the Indian children, you know, they come up to me and they say, "Hi, Grandpa," you know, and I start figuring out where they get this grandpa business. But it's a Kiowa way, and that's what they should learn, you know.
His Indian name is Tain Sahay, Blue Hail. Born 62 years ago in a teepee, he's a farmer, an artist, a Kiowa Choctaw Indian. Dixon is one of the many Native Americans who feels a responsibility to preserving the Indian ways. He is a maker of feather war bonnets for other Indians, veterans who have earned the right to wear one, and for lovers of Indian art, Jimmy Stewart, Chuck Connors, and Willie Nelson, who was the fair's 1981 Indian of the Year. His wife, Clotia, does the intricate, painstaking beadwork for the bonnets and for the elaborate costumes her family wears when dancing at powwows. Dixon is also a painter of murals and of teepees. The teepee was to the nomadic Plains Indian a canvas for recording visions, births, deaths, battles, all things that touched and sustained their lives.
I love to work with feathers or beads or paint. You know, it's an enjoyment to myself. It's a feeling, you know. Sometimes I guess I'm in a daydream too, you know. I think way back, you know, God, I can see, you know, grandparents, you know, living in a teepee, and I could just see them dancing, and you know, when I hear these songs, and even at night, I could hear those songs.
The main attraction of the fair's week-long festivities is the social and competitive dancing.
You don't dance every day. You enjoy that certain time. It's special, you know, special.
Dixon and his brother George have been dancing since they were youngsters.
My grandfather, he's the one that used to sing for us. He was about 7, 8 years old. And my father would tell my grandfather to sing us some songs, you know, and have us dance. So we start dancing.
Dixon has twice won the National War Dance Championship. He's entered every year since it started.
If you're Indian, you know, you have that feeling, and no matter what's going on somewhere else, the Indian dance is more important. than to even eat, too. You know, I always say, I'd rather dance than eat. When the young boys see me out there, you know, they always want to know. They say, Mr. Palmer, are you going to contest against this? I say, why, sure. I'm going to make you boys really try. And, you know, they get a kick out of it. Give it everything you got.
Martha Perez
when you start dancing,
bringing
okay?
her into the arena.
Gabe Morgan is among the boys who stand in awe of Dixon Palmer. To Gabe's parents, Bob and Vanessa, Dixon's influence helps reinforce what they are trying to teach their children.
I would like to think that they take their obligations seriously. And by obligations, I mean obligations to themselves as a person and a responsibility to the old people who were here before them.
The exposition is a reminder of that responsibility and a time to dream.
Sometimes I always, you know, think about those things, you know. I say, boy, I wish I was way back, you know, and just riding across the prairie, you know, and just, you know, you're as free as a free. Everything was free.
It is also a time for the children to learn.
I always talk to them, you know. Get out there, I say, when you dance, I said, dance like you really mean it, you know. Really sincere about your dancing. And I think that's one thing, you know, to teach them to be proud that they're Indians.
This area has become home to a variety of Indian tribes, and the Dallas-Fort Worth Powwow Association from time to time sponsors social gatherings for them. One of them is coming up November 13th, Saturday night, at the National Guard Armory in Irving. But everybody's invited, and it's really a good way to learn something about Indian culture. We'll be right back.